guys, I'm here with Manny and I'm here today with this amazing makeup artist from Birmingham. Thank you for being here today, Manny.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
So Manny reached out to me quite a few weeks ago about going on a wellness journey, and I thought it'd be a really good idea to document her journey, and I think it's going to be great inspiration for you all. So Manny, let's start with talking about the why. Like, why did you want to go on this journey?
To start off with, I think that I'm ready for a change. In fact, I need to bring a change in my life because, as you know, like, the body changes for many, many different reasons. And it can change from aging, it can change from, you know, medication, injuries, having a child, being married, right? Or, you know, there's just so many reasons as to why your body changes. And I feel like for a long time I've pressed pause on myself, and I guess I've not prioritized the importance of giving myself the time for my mind, my body, because I just keep on putting other things in place of me, and at what cost? Quite a big cost. You know, it's like when you don't work out. I mean, you know, because obviously you're Pilates queen, but I just, if I was to take back all the layers of like who I am and what I've been like with my fitness journey and my body frame, my body shape, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, when somebody sees me for the first time, they're like, wow, you know, Manny, you've got 3 children, you know, you're married, you're, you know, such and such age, you look great. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? The first thing I'll say is, thank you, Waiguji. You know, yes, I do look great, but I am very weak inside. There's a lot of strength that's missing.
And I think it's important to say as well that we're both in our 40s.
Yeah.
You're 43, I'm 45. And things do shift anyway for anyone. They have done for me, even though I've been doing Pilates for like 20 years. But also having kids, that in itself can be so consuming.
Yeah.
Aging changes our body, but just lifestyle changes, being busy, we start looking after our parents, looking after other people.
Yeah.
So I think just taking that in consideration is so important for us to make that time for ourselves, which I feel like us women don't.
Yeah, and that's the actual problem. Like, I feel like for the last 2 years, so many things have taken more priority than myself.
Yeah.
So this is when I reached out to you six months ago. I think I just randomly came across.
Yes, initially.
Yeah, initially.
Oh, tell me, you never told me. How did that happen? Because you reached out to me on socials, right?
It was on socials, on your Instagram, and I had seen some of your clips and stuff, and I was there like, oh, following this wonderful lady. And I was thinking, at that time I wasn't doing any workouts, wasn't doing no exercises or anything. I wasn't even going for the random walk and stuff or whatever, because I was so busy with the kids. My youngest daughter, she wasn't in full-time school. We had just sold up our house and we bought a new house which was going up for renovations, moved into my mother-in-law's.
Oh, that is a lot. That is a lot.
With a ready-made family.
Wow, that's a lot.
So the 5 of us moved everything over into her house, and we were living out of 2 rooms essentially. And the little one, she wasn't in full-time school, and I was just going from different school runs because we were still back at different areas, and work completely took over. And
it does, doesn't it? That's so easily done.
And my lifestyle took over, and I just wasn't working out. And then your Instagram page came up, and I was just like, oh, you know, Pilates, I need to do this. And at the same time, I didn't know I had this problem. I didn't know I had an issue with my back, with my spinal. Oh gosh, I've probably always had it, but I didn't know I had it. It started to really, really hurt, and my back was causing a lot of pain. And as a makeup artist, any makeup artist will tell you that you're standing there for hours on end, and you're in the most weirdest positions. And, you know, sometimes it can last from like a Friday to a Monday, or a Thursday to a Monday. You're standing constantly, and you're running off coffee, water, tea or something, and you're just in an awkward position. And the other thing is when you have kids as well, you know, when you like hold them and you just like holding them in weird positions as
Yeah,
well.
and from the pregnancy as well. Just
Pregnancy,
being pregnant, everything shifts. Your center of gravity shifts.
Yeah.
But then also when you're holding the newborn baby, whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, you're like sitting there feeding.
Yeah.
It takes such a toll on the body. And then if
Yeah.
you're baby wear like I did, I baby weared both my kids for like 2 years, and it really took a toll on my back.
Yeah.
So all of that makes such a difference.
Yeah, massive difference. But I got used to the pain.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that, okay, I'm just thinking, because it's from the child, you know, having children sort of thing, pregnancy, and the pain was really like chronic pain in my back. And it hit me more after I had my youngest. And then I started to go to physio, and he said that you've got kyphosis, which is like a curve in your spine.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to, you know, treat it. But one of the biggest things that he said to me was, Manny, you need to work on your back muscles. You need to work on the strength in your back in order for it to be supported, in order for it to be straightened. But I couldn't go, after having it all treated and stuff, I couldn't go straight into working out as well, because it was weak. And at the same time, he's saying to my husband, because they're really good friends as well. He's like saying to my husband, you own a gym. Oh, that's the other thing as well. We own a gym. So
Yes, you do. Yeah.
so there's no excuse.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I wasn't,
But it's also finding that form of movement that you love.
like the gym.
Yeah.
Okay, I was living at my mother-in-law's.
Yeah.
The first thing that she would have done is told the whole bender, like, and told my mum as well. She would have said that, oh, you know, she's going to the gym. And not thinking about, no, actually, it's not that I want to lose weight. I don't want to lose weight. I actually am really, really happy. I'm blessed. I thank Waigoji all the time for giving me, you know, a slim, slender body. But I am weak, which is what I said. I need to work on my core.
Oh, that's so important. That's for me the most important thing, because we all come in different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Some people can be bigger, some people can be smaller. But my entire, from the age of like teenage years till I'd say 30, I was obsessed in just being the thinnest I could be. And I mean, I had a 10-year eating disorder. I used to starve myself. I would go through all these different things. I just wanted to be thin. But and now this is when my mindset has changed, right? This is when I realized that actually, no, it's not about being the thinnest you can be.
Exactly.
It's about being the strongest you can be. And as a byproduct, by being the strongest you can be, you're going to feel and look good. Your body's going to feel and look good, whatever size you're meant to be. That's a natural weight on your body.
Yeah.
And that has such an impact on just your bone density, just your mental well-being, you know, not getting fractures as when you get older. So Pilates is really good for that. And that's something women need to be really careful of as we go through perimenopause, which we're both kind of approaching that age, even though we were laughing earlier on that we're not. I really feel like I am.
You can't.
But you're younger.
There's
You still
no
got a couple of years. I'm still a couple of years older than you. But I genuinely feel like, so with Pilates, the strength that you build in your bones, the bone density. If you think of your bones like a sponge, so they have like tiny little holes in them. And as you age and as we hit perimenopause, our estrogen levels drop. And as they drop, those holes in our bones get bigger and bigger, essentially, so they become more brittle and they snap. But by doing a form of movement like Pilates, it makes the bones stronger. So you're less likely to get a fracture. You're less likely to fall over. All those things that can happen as we get older. But also just move your body. You'll be able to move your body and be strong. Which also makes such a difference with, even when you're younger, like starving yourself, it can make such a difference with your periods, your fertility, you know, hair loss, which is something that I struggled with for like 10 years of my life, your skin health, all those things that you just don't think about when you're younger.
Yeah, I think going back to peeling back the layers of when I was younger, when I was, let's just say, infants, primary school, I was the skinny, tall one, always taller than the average girl sort of thing. But I loved the height and I loved being the skinniness because I was a proper tomboy. I was a hardcore tomboy. I was like my brother. No, sorry, it was my sister, my brother,
You
and
would
then
not
me.
think that now, would you? That's super
I was
clown.
such a hardcore tomboy. I was there like playing football, you know, in the local fields with my brother because my brother wanted to have a brother. So I became his brother. I used to go and play football with him all the time. At school, I was like, anything sporty, anything energetic, anything that could get me active and going, I was enrolled on it. So the school football team, rounders, netball team, I was there. I was on it. I was just like,
so you always had that kind of sporty streak in you.
Always. I always just, you know what, my mum and dad used to be like, take a better. Like, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, I am. And it's like, because my mind was so like ready to, let's do something.
Yeah.
Not to just sit there and just like, you know, I'm not a lazy person. So I'm always just thinking of the next thing to do, the next thing to do sort of thing. And when I went to, so that was primary school, infant school, you know, just proper active, let's go.
That's
Soon as I
amazing.
went to high school, that's when the big, like, crash almost kind of like just, it stopped, because the high school I went to...
When you say high school, you mean secondary school, like from 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
So from
11,
12 years
12.
old,
Okay.
there's massive body changes.
Exactly.
But not only body changes, in your mind as well,
Yeah.
right? So the school didn't actually support or give any kind of sporting kind of activities. There was no extracurricular activities or anything like that I could join onto. And all of a sudden it was there like, okay, when am I going to put this energy? It's just in a PE class. But I used to hate PE because they didn't actually construct that well either. It was just kind of like, you know, to fill out the timetable. It wasn't actually fun. It didn't actually, you know, move my mojo for me, should I say,
and
sort
it
of thing.
can be so uncomfortable as well when you're growing.
Yeah, because
As
you're
a
in
young
that
girl,
little...
when you're growing and your periods have started and your breasts are growing, it's uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
which I'm so conscious about my daughter now.
Yeah. And
I'm trying to be, trying to make it
all my
as easy for her
friends,
as possible.
I know, it's crazy. All my friends were smaller, petite, and then all of a sudden, at high school, started my period, and you know, that was, you know what? We'll save it for another day, right? But that was literally life-changing for me, because I was there like, hang on, you know, I'm a tomboy, and look how simple they have it, right? They don't have to walk around with a pillow in their pants, like, you know. So why is this happening to me more? You know what I mean? I had a simple way of looking at my brother and thinking, he's got it so easy.
Yeah.
You know, he's just, you know, at home we'd be playing wrestling and stuff like WrestleMania, Rumble, you know, Royal Rumble with all my cousins who are all boys on my dad's side of the family.
Wow.
So I was just literally like, that's it now. I can't do that now because it's the time of the month and blah blah blah. Anyway, we'll leave that for another day because
Slight identity crisis.
It's just
like,
like, who am I and what the fuck is happening here, right? But my friends were all small, petite, and then there was me. Started puberty, and the hips started to grow, the thighs started to grow, and that was all genetic as well. Because that's another reason why your body changes as well. Because my boas, they all had the bumper and they all had the thighs, right? And I was there like, what is this? Like, why do I have this shape? And nobody else has this shape. Firstly, I'm taller than everyone. Now I've got these hips. Like, what the hell? And I remember my brother used to be like, look at me, and he used to start laughing and be like, all right, thunder thighs. And you're thinking,
oh, that's so mean.
It's so
That's such a typical brother thing to do as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. I see it with my siblings. It's such a normal thing to do, but
Isn't it? But
it can really affect you when you're that
I mean,
young.
I love him to bits, and I get it's just jokes, yeah. But for me, it was there like, I don't like this. I didn't like how it made me feel.
Is that when you stopped then? That's when you just stopped working out, moving your body?
Yeah, like as such, but it was what you just said earlier, like an identity thing. Like, why is my body going through this change, and why am I looking like this? And you know, I look slim now, but I went through a phase of looking, you know, a bit more chubbier, just a bit more healthier, I guess, because you know, with the weight going in the different places. And remember, there was no sports going on, so my parents, we used to work till really late, till 6 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock. It was like by the time they come home, it's ruddy time. It's not like how with our kids we take them to gymnastics, we take them to boxing, we take them to swimming.
Yes.
How much do we actually do? And that's another reason why we give them more time than ourselves. Like, you know, I would like to go to a bungalow class in the evening, but I've got to go home and put them back to bed.
But you know what, like this is me, right? I'm like, every day it's the kids. I pick up, I drop off. And I was telling Manny earlier on, like I home educate for 7.5 years. So I've given my entire life for it. Yeah. But then sometimes I see this other side to it, which is a whole conversation for another day. And maybe we'll have it later when we go for dinner. We're going to go for dinner after we work out. Yeah. But then sometimes I think I give so much to them, and then they're being so rude. what am I? And I never spoke to my parents. I went, what am I doing wrong? I never got half this shit.
No,
but I never spoke to my parents. Anyway, that's a story.
We'll
I mean, I can't. There's no other way. Like, I'm a
that.
conscious parent. I try my hardest to be present all the time, but I do sometimes wonder, what am I doing wrong? But anyway, I'm allowing them to be who they need to be, and just, I guess, get it out now. But so back to your journey.
But with the regards with, like, you know, how we do encourage sports.
Yeah.
It wasn't the normal thing.
No.
Back then. I don't know. I was a 80s kid,
Same.
early 90s
Same.
sort of thing. It was, you know, the rich white kids that would go to a karate class or something or whatever. And so when I started to see these body changes, which I didn't like, I didn't like who I was at that time. Firstly, you know, we're talking about health and fitness and whatever, but then even the beauty side of it was awful. It was just like, you know, I was like the unibrow, the moustache.
Listen, every Indian child,
looked absolutely awful. I remember back when I went to college at university, this one guy said to me, he goes, "Oh, you've turned
sideburns.
Oh, sideburns.
Sideburns.
You've turned into a swan. You have." I was like, "Fuck off, you prick."
But this is so true. I think our generation had it so hard, and also
awful.
We were so much more hairy than our parents.
Yeah, like what?
My mum and dad have no hair, and I'm like, we came out like mango seeds. Like, what is going on? I was like, my daughter, no, we're not. I'm gonna just take care of this when she comes to the right age. When she becomes self-conscious and not walking around with a unibrow or sideburns. But
it used to be like, oh, put the Jolene on, so you're gonna walk around with a flipping bleach.
I know, and then we're always in the sun, so we're sitting there like proper brown ones, like blonde
moustache.
You're not tricking no one. The jig is up.
The truth, though. That's how we were. You know, I think my mum purposely wanted me so ugly because she was really thinking, you can't have a boyfriend now. Ain't no one chasing you, girl.
Yeah, damn sure.
Yeah, I think that's what they did. But yeah, I think that. I don't think I've ever said this, and I've never said it out loud as well, but I did go through a phase of an eating disorder. And yeah, I haven't said it out loud, but because I just don't think I've actually gone back and revisited that time. And it came in two waves.
How old were you?
I was 15, 16. But because I've not revisited it, I don't know how to address it and tell my daughters about it. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So I don't know.
Totally.
I don't know if I want to talk about it because I don't. I just, it was a shit time.
Yeah.
But then it came back in my early 20s, and I'm not ashamed of it. I was ashamed of it then.
Yeah.
And carried a lot of guilt for it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a dark time. I was going through a lot of things at both of those two times of my life, and I feel like, you know, when you're in a dark, shitty place.
And this is the first time you've maybe acknowledged it or spoken about it out loud. So really thank you for your rawness and your honesty. And this is the thing, and this is what drives me on my platform, where I had the eating disorder for 10 years, and mine was, I was in a very dark place, and it was very, very intense. And it also coincided with a very toxic marriage that I then, once I got divorced and I got out the marriage and got a handle off my eating disorder, and literally I'm like, I look back at that person and I'm almost unrecognizable. But I remember being in my early 20s, being desperate, trying to look online, but then deleting that, trying to hide the cookies and stuff like that, because we had this Amstrad computer at my mum and dad's house.
Good old Amstrad.
There was no mobile phones with the internet and all of that kind of stuff. And there was nowhere I could find information. So that's the one thing, because I have this love-hate relationship with the social media, right? I love the fact that I've got to meet someone like you. Like, I've met some amazing women and made some amazing friendships through social media, which has been such a blessing. I feel like I'm really finding my tribe. But at the same time, and also spreading the word, right? So there's people out there who might be stuck in this dark place, but they can actually go and access this information and find out that they're not alone. There's other people going through this. This is normal, or it's not normal, or it's not healthy, or whatever. But at the same time, I found it as a very toxic place. But that's why I think it's so important to speak up. And I had a lot of shame around it. And, you know, no one knew, not a single soul. My ex-husband knew, but besides from that, no one else knew. But now I find so much strength through it, because I'm like, that's what I went through. There was a lot of darkness.
Yeah.
And it was an issue started with the desperation of me trying to be skinny and not actually understanding that food is nutrition. I was very stuck, and I would just eat what was kind of in the house, and I never really, and I always had this absolute passion about food. And now I'm studying functional medicine and all of that kind of stuff. I love it. And it's always kind of been there. I look back, it's always there. But I just didn't know how to use food to actually help me. So instead, I was using it in a very negative way, I guess, in an unhealthy way, by kind of like with kind of some kind of control. And mine wasn't anorexia, it was bulimia, and it went on for like 10 years. But the fact that you've been so open about it, like, I'm so grateful. That honesty is not easy. Especially when you know people are going to be seeing this too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually quite shocked that I've actually just blurted that out, because I've never actually said it. I feel like it's, to even think about that time is really hurtful. But it's made me feel a bit conscious now, because I'm talking about this to you on camera, but I'm thinking there's no one who knows about it. So it's hurtful, and then I'm thinking I'm going to be hurting those thinking, why did you do that for, sort of thing. And yeah, I feel like I'm going to have this conversation at some point now, especially with my daughter.
Yeah.
And to make her think that, you know, I don't know, eating disorder is a thing.
It's a thing.
And the thought that it actually came back in two massive big waves for me, and for the period of time it did come. Yeah, it's quite a lot. But maybe we might revisit it another time, but at the moment I feel like I haven't got the answers to give to, I know my mum would be really, really heartbroken, to be honest.
So would my mum. She hasn't, so nobody knows, even though I've spoken about it on my social media, but my obviously my parents aren't on there and stuff. A lot of people aren't on there. My siblings probably will find out through that, but I feel that sometimes we carry the weight and the shame, or like just the weight of the world, of what other people think, that we just do not live authentically. And this is something, since I've hit 45, I'm like, it's a different... I am trying to live as authentically as I can, right? So I've always been that person, and I see my daughter doing it now, and it just it upsets me so much, but she really worries about what other people think. And I mean, as long as you're kind and you're respectful, you're not hurting anyone, we shouldn't it shouldn't stop, people's judgment shouldn't stop us doing things that make us happy. And I'm really, I don't know if it's come with age, perimenopause, hitting this certain kind of, I'm middle-aged. I've hit my middle of my life, although I want to live till 100, so I still got 5 years before I hit middle age. But you know what I mean? Like, I've hit this thing. I'm like, how do I want to live the rest of the next half of my life?
I think that even with having to revisit that, or even say that, I'm thinking the person I was back then and nowhere near who I am now. I'm much more stronger as a person, sort of thing. So, but just having open conversations and just talking about it.
And being aware of your triggers. Being aware of your triggers, what was going on for you at that time.
Yeah. And, but moving on from that anyway, which is,
Yeah. So moving on.
Moving on from that when I was.
Yeah. But you got loads of whys you want to go on this journey. And also, I have to say, like we've spoken about this before, like we are both Sikh Punjabi, and Seva is a really big part of our religion, our culture and everything. And I just think by even just us being very open and candid about our feelings and our journey is helping other people. And I mean, the reason why this whole platform has come about is I was in the darkest place, and I've come through the other end, and I know other people can too. I just didn't know where to turn back then, but I want to help other people come through. And meditation, so I first started meditation, I think I was 20 or 21, and it's been in my life for a very long time. I came across it through like a Covent Garden walking around, and I found this place at Brahma Kumaris, and I went in there and I fell into this meditation, and I went there every week after that, and I carried it on. That's why this platform's come about, right? To help people, and it's Alpha Seva, and including you
remember when I spoke to you the first time? That's why we clicked and connected, because I said to you, I need to make a change with me right now.
That's right.
But how, like, because the bottom line is, right, that I told you I got attracted to it's almost like this was brought forward to me, because there I am 6 months ago, still at my mother-in-law's house, and I was trying to go back I was still there, and I'd seen your platform, and I thought, you know what, I need to do something which is going to stimulate, going to help my back, and it's going to do me some justice and I'll be able to do something. But I've always been into like fitness classes and stuff at home.
Yeah.
Because, especially after having the kids, because half the time you got to think about, right, okay, when they've come back from school or whatever, or after work, you got to think about who's going to babysit them.
Yeah.
So going out to the gym, even though we have our own gym, it was like, okay, you know what?
Oh, it can feel so hard.
It can feel hard, right? So
Because it takes you like, I mean, even
you have to first go and find who's going to have your kids.
Yes.
Then, by the time you've set them off and you've
Yes.
worked out their whole schedule of when they're going to eat, when they're going to go sleep, and then you go to the gym.
But it's going to take you that 2 hours. Yes.
It's going to take me half an hour to go and drive there.
Exactly.
Then I'm going to have this wonderful workout and I'm going to feel fantastic. Then I'm going to go back, pick up the kids, bring them back home. It's like, whoa, this is long.
Yeah.
I haven't got that much time.
And it does take about 2 hours. And I really, I cannot explain this to you. I have literally struggled my entire life with my weight up until recent years. I cannot tell you that you do not need to work out for an hour, 5 days a week. You really don't to see results. As long as you're consistent, if you're 20, 30
is the
minutes,
biggest key, right?
It's huge. And you see, I say that every day on my social media. It is key.
Yeah.
And by doing these workouts, you're working your deep muscles. And you don't need that much time. Sometimes if you've got 15 minutes, you just take that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
There's different times on the platform that you can work with. And there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
So you were saying
I always say that, to my kids as well, or to anyone around me, I'll say, do something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel good, you're going to look good, right? It's hand in hand.
Yeah.
But the feeling of feeling good is just so simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then here's me not making myself feel good. So I'm thinking, and my husband say like, you just come to the gym and, have a workout and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. But remember, when I was at my mother-in-law's house at that time, I didn't feel like it was the right time or the right space. I didn't have space to join onto your classes. And I reached out to you and I said, okay, in 6 months' time, I'm going to move out and I'm going to have my own space. I'm going to have my own time and I'll be able to join your classes.
Yeah.
And you just left a little open message to say, Manny, you're more than welcome. When you're ready.
Yeah.
Give me a shout.
I said, I'd love you to be part of the member or something.
Yeah, something or another. And you said, definitely come and try out one of my sessions or something.
Yeah.
So I had it there and I just had it in my, my inbox and I was like, okay, keep that there. Just remember, this is something to work towards, to go towards sort of thing. So when we moved here, settled in and I'm like, right, okay, now I need to have that routine.
And this is only a few weeks ago, by the way.
This is only what I touched base with you just before half term.
Yeah.
The kids in October, half term.
Yeah.
That's when I touched base with you.
Yeah.
And I reached out to you and I said, hi, Remy. No, actually, my first question to you was, where are you from?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't even know.
Where are you based? Are you near Birmingham by any chance?
And I was thinking,
London.
Yeah, and in my head, I was thinking to myself, do you know what? One of my friends has started to do Pilates classes and she's been raving on about it. And I was thinking, okay, cool. But I had remembered that I'd actually gave you that little nudge and I thought, right, okay, let me just see. And I thought to myself, okay, then if Remy lives just down the road, maybe we could meet up at the gym.
Yeah.
And hand in hand, I could learn from somebody right there and then.
Yeah.
And, we'll promote the gym as well. Or we'll, it's a workspace or something. Or maybe you could do Pilates classes at the gym.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, Manny, I'm from London. I was there like, oh, shit, there goes that one, right? But then, and that's what I said to you. And I said, I just thought if you were nearby. And you said, we could do a retreat or something. And I thought, yeah, okay. And then we scheduled in just a phone call, didn't we?
Yeah, and that was it.
Then we had this conversation.
Hours went by. I remember being so hot on our conversation. I was like, I'm getting so excited.
Take my jumper off.
I was like, I'm getting so excited. I was literally taking layers off when I was on the phone to you. Because I could see where this could go for you, but we were so aligned in our conversation and every conversation since we've had since then. And actually, I have to say, we've had to say a few times, like, Manny, put the phone down, we can't talk anymore. We're like, save this for our chat. Yeah. Because otherwise we're just going to just say things and then not remember to say it, just really talk openly for the first time.
And I said to you, basically, I said, you know what? I could go to the gym. There's so many, it's our gym sort of thing. How much more freedom do I need? There's PTs there and everything. But and then you were like, come on this journey, be my project.
Yeah.
And I was there like, be a project. Like, oh God, I don't know if I want to actually really put myself out there and expose myself. And then it was like I retreated myself back and I thought, do you know what? There's so many women, who will probably resonate with me.
Yeah.
And I could inspire them. And
Yeah.
how beautiful is that sort of
Yeah.
thing? The fact that, okay, I might have to stretch a little bit and push myself out there,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the biggest thing is if I am my own health advocate,
Yeah.
you know, how many people will I inspire sort of
Yeah.
thing? And that is the main game
Yeah.
of this.
Just
Is
putting
obviously to
yourself out
put in
there.
giving the importance to myself as well,
Yeah.
because it's about bloody time.
Yes, it is, sister. It
It is.
really is.
Why the hell am I putting myself on the back burner?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What? Do you mean?
Yeah.
At the end, I need to be healthy and happy, and
Yes.
so that I can look after my nyana butcher.
Yeah, and also I do feel that there's so many women in our age bracket that feel like they're over the hill or something, and like they're too
Yeah.
old. I'm like, you are too young to be feeling that old.
Yeah.
Like if you're only halfway through your life, and if you're feeling old now, and I always say this, I say this to my husband as well. I was like, if you are feeling old now, what chance have you got by the time you're in your 60s and 70s? Like, you are going to be just...
You know, when somebody says to me that they feel old and they're 21, I feel like, come here, I'm going to give you a butty hut
I know, but that's just,
or
that's
even
just
if,
pure
or even if
youth
someone
talking.
hits the age of like 38, 39, 40 and they're like, oh, I feel like I'm hitting my menopause. I'm just like, shut up, man.
But no, but listen, that
I
can...
know it can be. I know it can
Age of
be
35, it
a
could
real
really
thing.
happen. Yeah.
It can happen, but sometimes
I mean,
think
it will
that-
happen, Manny.
Yeah.
You do know it will.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not how
That's
it is.
just another beautiful phase.
It's like me
right?
with my fear about starting my period, right? Now it's like, oh my God, I'm going to go through another body change.
Now I'm going to stop. God
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah, exactly.
No, but but it is going to be a beautiful phase, and it doesn't come without difficulties. I mean, hair loss, like I talked about, bone density, brain fog, and eyesight, and then you got like I actually had plantar fasciitis and frozen shoulder and all these lovely things that come along with perimenopause. But it is a different phase. But I think if we really take care of ourselves and give ourselves that education, but that time and space to really nurture ourselves through this transition, I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think our mum's generation never did that.
They didn't give themselves the time.
They didn't. I remember
It's
my
such a
mum
shame.
taking
And then-
primrose evening,
And
primrose
thinking-
oil,
yeah,
primrose
primrose-
oil,
and they thought-
and she was taking that in the evenings, but I mean, which is amazing, by the way, for
Yeah.
perimenopause. But it was just that, and my mum used to swear by having one banana with a glass of milk before bed every night. And that helped her perimenopause, apparently. And I'm sure it did. And she's an amazing woman. But I feel like there's so much more that we could do, and taking that time and space, and also talking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
We're
there's
all
not
going to hit
enough
it.
conversation.
It's coming.
Every woman is going to. We might not all have babies, but we are all going to have perimenopause and then menopause.
I think that even when you hit this age, even when you're about to start your period, it's a completely different feeling compared to when you were younger, sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
I find like a week before, I'm shattered. I'm exhausted. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm drained. I'm
Yes.
exhausted,
Yes.
and I feel like my energy levels, which like I said, I don't normally sit down long enough. I'm always doing something or another. But when I'm about to hit my period, I need to just sit down and just chill for a bit.
I mean, there are changes as well. So for about 7 years before you hit, and it can be different for some people, it can be like 12 years, but about 7 years before you hit menopause, your estrogen levels are going to start declining. So you're going to start feeling a difference, and it just slowly starts happening. But you'll start noticing differences. But it is about taking care of your body. So I get why we're here right now, right? And I hope our audience understand like why you're here right now, and you're being so raw, so open, so honest, and you have, you come on and you're part, you're it's a project for me now that we're going to work through,
and project for you.
And it's not just the Pilates. So my method is the Pilates, which is classical and contemporary.
But even with that, I didn't, I saw the little snapshot and whatever my friend had told me about Pilates, I really don't know anything about it. As in the sense that I looked at a few of your videos and I was there like, it strengthens your core. I need to strengthen my core because now, after having 3 children, my core is not what it once used to be. It's not tight anymore, Under all this, there is the jelly bits.
But also your pelvic floor, which is so important. It's holding all your organs up, and it's so important for...
I think it is all displaced underneath, which is what I was telling you, like I'm weak within, sort of thing. Whatever looks on the exterior, slim, slim girl for, having 3 kids. I get that. But there's plenty of jelly bits here. There's, what I mean? I need to strengthen myself. I need to build my core, my stomach and my back, my spinal. I need to build the muscles around it. And when I saw your little video, I was like, this could really help me. And if it's going to help me, it can help
other
so many
people.
other, you know, some of us are left with the mommy tummy.
Yeah.
And, you know,
the pouch, but also that happens, I'm going to keep taking it back. It also happens with perimenopause and menopause. You get left with this pouch, but there's so much stuff we can do for it.
And as we get older, it's true, right? Your metabolism slows down.
Of course. But also I have to say with the platform, so my method is classical and contemporary combined. I have my own method, so you're not going to get the same somewhere else where you go. It is my method. But also it's the breath work, it's the meditation. See, it's that side of it. And nutrition is coming to the platform too. So I think that's so important.
And I think when we were talking, I was saying to you, like, I get the whole body that I need to make a change with, but I'm on a spiritual journey as well, where the meditation has kicked in since last year, sort of thing. My whole outlook on life and my wisdom and, you know, my inner peace, I'm working on that. And I think this and that, hand in hand, you know, it's the time is now, and I'm ready to like elevate with that and inspire other people.
Yeah, I just recorded a meditation yesterday. It's going on the platform this week. A meditation for being present, and I feel like we live so much in the future or the past. We're not present enough.
No.
Maybe there's too much pain and anguish going on around us, but really, if there's pain and anguish, it's because either we're living in the future or the present. We're not actually just in this right moment most of the time, unless there's actually like a serious crisis or trauma going on. So. Your goals. We haven't discussed your goals. So yes, you want to quieten the mind and really just like get in tune with your body. You want to get stronger and your core stronger. Is there anything else you want to achieve being on this journey?
Okay, one of the biggest things, because I feel quite exposed, right, to be honest, right? But it was what I said to you on the phone and what you've touched on earlier is like, the seva is a really big part because, you know, as you said, even being Sikh as well, sort of thing, I feel like this is my service, this is my vanshako, this is my time to, you know, just, you know, I'm telling you my story, I'm going to be showing you as well, I'm going to be on that mat with you, and I'm, you know, don't mic me up, I've told you that as well, don't mic me up, right, because my flexibility is shite. And I said to you as well on the phone, I says, you know, I want to be able to touch my toes.
Yes, you did say that the first time
I said I want to be able to touch my toes.
I promise you'll be touching your toes.
Yeah, so that's one of the goals. That I want to be able to touch my toes. I want to build my inner core. I want to be able to strengthen my back. I want to be able to. I want to go back to my physio, and I want to say, look, because he's always said, go, Manny. There's no point you keep on coming to me and me correcting and massaging out when you're not. You've got to go and put the work in it now. And I want to show him the change that I'm doing Pilates now, and look. Is it working? I don't know if Pilates is going to work for me, but I really am hoping that it is going to work for me. And I'm more than sure. And you're going to kick my ass, and I know that. And then everybody who's going to be following me, right, they're going to be like, I'm hoping that I'll motivate them. Yeah. But I'm hoping that the girls are going to motivate me and say, hello.
Have you done your workout today?
Have you done your workout today?
And that's the thing.
And I want them to... It's a two-way program, right?
It is. Yeah.
I feel that's how I feel, and I feel like maybe that's why I've been directed to this, or maybe that's why I've been presented to you, sort of thing. Maybe this is what it's come about. I mean, I believe in, you know, the universe, the bigger agenda.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, maybe this is going to lead to, you know, just opening up different opportunities, but growth. Yeah. Growth for others, growth for me.
Yeah.
That's satisfaction, right?
And the thing is, it really is, and I feel like. We just have to find, and no matter what it is, whether it's not Pilates, no matter what it is, it's just finding a movement that's correct for you. And everyone likes different things. Yeah. But I really believe, and I say this on my platform, on my socials all the time, but movement really is medicine. It really, really is.
When you said that on there, I definitely pressed the love button on that because I was there like, do you know what? Wow, that actually it's so simple, but it makes sense, right?
It changes everything in your mind, in your body. It literally changes your life. The way you move, the way you view things, you feel so much better about yourself. If you feel better about yourself, you're more likely to smile at that person who's then going to go off and go smile at that person. You have a knock-on effect.
You spreading that kindness, because you feel good inside. That's what I'm saying. Like if you feel good inside, it's just flourishes, doesn't it?
I'm so excited to get you on the mat. We are going to be now filming a class.
And my mic is going to be switched off.
Manny's mic's gonna be
because I'm my F, I'm my blind.
She's gonna be
I cannot
cursing.
stretch. I haven't worked out for 2 years, girl. Okay. And you
You're
said to me,
gonna be amazing.
you said, look at my platform, and then I'm seeing you with your legs up in the air and stuff, and I'm just, I can't even put my legs straight at the minute.
But you will be, and it's just about being consistent. These are our muscles, and they can be trained. So you maybe lost flexibility and mobility, but we're going to bring that. We're going to bring that back, and that's the whole point of this. These classes that I film is like I'm the living proof of it. I am 45 and 46 in a few months' time. And I've gone through 10-year eating disorder. I've gone through loads in my life. I've had children. I've gone through losses. I've gone through all of that. But I'm standing, and this is the strongest I have ever been, and that's no word of a lie. I don't struggle with my weight anymore. I haven't looked at the scales for the last time I looked at the scales was when I was pregnant with my firstborn. So that's 10 years ago. And so that was a real thing as well, like checking the scales every day and just oh my God, it was awful. But so all these things, I mean, it's really possible. Just become the strongest, best version of yourself. But we're now going to film a class for the platform with Manny, and I'm so excited. And it's going to be beginner friendly. So I think with all this chat, because we could talk forever, and someone's probably like, girls, just please be quiet now. So let's get filming and let's get our first workout in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today. You've been so vulnerable, so honest, and honestly, you're such a delight. I love talking to you. I'm so glad that you connected. And just really grateful to have you here.
Okay, thanks for making me your project.